So good evening and welcome to this reflection for the 28th Sunday of the year. It's a reflection on the Gospel of Mark, chapter 10, verses 17 to 30. It's about the rich young man. The rich young man asked Jesus, "What must I do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus answered, "Keep the commandments." And the young man said, "I have kept all these from my earliest years." And Jesus admired him. Mark says Jesus looked steadily at him and loved him. Jesus invited the young man to follow him. "You need to do one thing more," Jesus said. "Go and sell what you own and give the money to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me." Jesus is not saying that everybody has to do this. This was a special call, a very personal call to this young man, and the young man did not respond to that call. His face fell at these words, and he went away sad, for he was a man of great wealth. He wasn't prepared to make the sacrifice. It was just too much for him. Many of us would probably admit that we would also find it hard to give up great wealth, if we had it, in order to enter the religious life. Still, there have been outstanding examples in the history of the church of men and women who gave up great wealth to follow Jesus. We have the example of St. Anthony of Egypt and St. Francis of Assisi. Nearer our own times, we have the example of the Venerable Father Ignatius Spencer, who gave up immense wealth to join the Passionists. Well, we are not all called, not everyone is called to enter religious life, but each and every one of us is called to follow Jesus. It isn't easy for any of us to make a wholehearted response. We can follow at a distance, all right, but following closely is something else. We can follow at a distance. What held the rich man back, of course, was the money. And what holds many people back may well be money, but it can be other things as well, not necessarily money. The challenge of the gospel for each one of us here and now is this, that we look into our lives and ask ourselves a straightforward question. What is it that is holding me back from following Jesus more closely, more wholeheartedly? You, the people of this parish, have a splendid record when it comes to helping the poor. You support the SVP very generously. Your support for all appeals for the needs of the church is most generous. Concern for the poor is an essential element in the following of Christ. It should be the concern of every baptized and confirmed follower of Christ, and not just those in the religious life. In the Acts of the Apostles, we read of the early Christian community that none of their members was ever in want. The church has always shown this concern for the poor. Many of the saints have been outstanding in their love for the poor. Saints like Saint Edward the Confessor, whose feast we shall celebrate this coming Wednesday, or Saint Vincent de Paul, or Saint Teresa of Calcutta. Something of this love and concern ought to characterize the lives of every follower of Jesus Christ. The rich young man went away sad, for he was a man of great wealth. His great wealth prevented him from following Jesus. The sad thing about the rich young man is that he missed an opportunity. He could have done so much good, reached so many people, come so close to Jesus, and followed him as a disciple. There is a lesson for all of us in the tragedy of the rich young man. May we learn from his hesitancy. When Jesus calls us personally in the circumstances of our daily lives, may we never miss the opportunity offered. May we have the courage to respond with generosity. So God bless you. Thank you for listening.
Hello, everyone. It's always nice to feel that I'm with you out there in the ether. Just like to say that the parish, along with all the parishes in the countries, the diocese in the country, will be embarking on a process known as the process of the synod. A synod comes from two Greek words meaning to walk together, and Pope Francis is calling the Church to have a thorough look at how it is as a unit, as a united body, walking together, seeking the Lord together, engaging in the communion at the level of the parish, seeking to see how much participation there is, how much more there might be, and all with a view to looking at the mission of the Church in bringing the good news of Jesus to the world. It's a wonderful opportunity for us as a parish to reflect and to share together on these very important themes. There'll be more about this next week, and the plan here in Herne Bay is to have an open meeting on the Sunday after that, on the 24th. But there'll be more about that next week. Please say a prayer that we can enter into this process prayerfully and hope, in a hope-filled way, and that it will help to build us up and help us to be evermore the people that we're called to be here in this corner of the world. And I'll just finish with one interesting little note which I read in the newspaper this morning, which is that the Nobel Prize winner for literature is a resident of Surrey. He is a professor of English at the University of Kent and has written a novel which has won him the Nobel Prize for literature. I think I'm right in saying that. Okay. Bye for now.